Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I am going to be doing something I do not typically do, and that's spoil a new set. So Mega Evolutions does not release for a while, but on the Japanese side, they have already started getting some of the pictures in for the cards. So thanks to PokeBeach, we have a lot of the pictures for Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia. Those will be the two sets that are released in conjunction with the Mega Evolution set on the English side. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff and that they have, the information that they have, the pictures, the leaks, and give you an idea of what I think the best cards are going to be from this set. So let's jump in there. I'm going to click on it. Again, this is PokeBeach. They've been around forever. They always get information really soon. Lots of ads on here. I got some space. You can see right here, our Mega Evolution set is releasing in September, but the Japanese side gets their release on Friday. All right, so they're going to show some of the illustration rares, and then we'll go through these and kind of look towards the bottom at some of the other stuff. We already know, some of these artworks. Like you've got this Bulbasaur here. I need to make sure that I'm actually on the screen. All right, this Bulbasaur here was one of the elite trainer promos that we've seen. You got Ivysaur. I think this is pretty nice. Like, I'm partial to Generation 1 as it is, so I really like the Bulbasaur. I like the Ivysaur. But to me, I think this is like a step up, this kind of artwork where it's more in detail. While it doesn't look like there's any cameos where you have other Pokemon stuck around in here. I think that's kind of like another tier up when you start getting into illustration rares. This Vulpix, man, I really like the Vulpix sitting by the fire. I mean, I don't know why Vulpix would need to warm up. To me, that doesn't make much sense. But I like the color scheme. I just like the depiction of, kind of like a real type thing that could go on if you had a Vulpix as a pet Pokemon. You got Riolu here, another nice card. Decent artwork. We've seen this before. I'm not sure what some of these are. These don't look that great. It could just be the lower quality. I imagine those are the leaks. The Steelix, I really like the Steelix. I think this will be a card that people like and go after. It'll probably be cheap like every other card that's a regular art rare or illustration rare once it does come out, because you can have a flood of them. Like, to me, the Wailord from the most recent set, or might have been Journey Together. It was one of the recent sets where the Wailord come out, where he's like vertical. I think that card is beautiful, but it is super cheap. I just sold a PSA 9 for $24.99. I mean, I lose money on at that grade for a PSA 9. You got the Spearow here, still nice artwork. Some of these are blanks. I guess that's them saying they don't have it yet. I don't really like this Absol here. We did already have a Mega Absol. I assume this is going to be, well, it's only 280 HP, so I don't know if this is actually a Mega or not. I'm not sure what the difference is. I assume it's like they extend the hair or the head. I did have somebody ask me about the Mega Dragonite, where it's got like the wings coming out of its head. It's a little gimmick type thing. To me, I don't really care for it. Looks like we have Mawile. If this is Mega, then it's probably a Mega Mawile, because we did already have that one. These trainers, they don't really appeal to me. I don't think they're that great. Now, this right here, I really like the Mega Venusaur. Now, it's probably because I'm partial to the Generation 1 line, especially the starters, and Bulbasaur is my favorite, just like individual Pokemon. We've got Kabuto was my first, Bulbasaur is my favorite. You'd think it'd be Charizard, but it's not. However, it says SAR at the bottom, so we're still looking at a special art rare, not a new tier, but it looks great. You can see that there's texture there. I think this is going to be one of the biggest cards in the set. Mega Lucario EX. Personally, I like the Venusaur more. However, the Lucario, you look at this card, it definitely has better artwork. This one is not the leaked version that has the texture. If you go back to the Venusaur, you can see this is the Japanese card. You can see the texture, and it definitely brings the card alive more. However, this, you can't see all that yet. This is still the English version of the card that is showing. But look, you got Venusaur right here, and you start looking around, you're like, oh wait, there's more stuff going on. We have what is that, Latios, or I think it's Latios. It's purple, so there's Latios or Latios. I'm pretty sure it's Latios. Over here, you've got, it looks like Mawile again. You got Kangaskhan. Down here, you've got a Manectric, and I can't even remember with Abomasnow. I can't even remember what that one is. But you got a lot of Pokemon inside of this one, and with the Venusaur there battling, it gives me the V-Star, the Charizard V-Star vibes, where he's battling the Venusaur. So I don't know why Venusaur gets so many of those cards, because he has another card where he's battling Charizard as well. But yeah, so this is a really nice card, and I believe that is going to be one of the top ones. I think this one's going to do better than the Venusaur, even though I personally like the Venusaur more. However, you just never know with this kind of thing. All right, so moving along, got an Absol again. Lieutenant Surge, I really like this trainer. I mean, it probably won't do anything, but I like the contrast of the green and the red. Those are complementary colors, right? And you got the yellow hair in there, and then you have the skin, and it all just makes the card pop. So to me, I think they did well with that. This will probably be a big card, just because it's what is this, Lily? It's a blonde girl on a full art card, and it's an SAR, so it'll probably do well. However, the full art waifu, whatever you want to call them, that term, they're not as big as they used to be, so I mean the prices have definitely come down. Now here we do have something interesting. This is a mega ultra rare, so I guess it's an all gold card, and I've been hearing some really good stuff about these. However, to me, I don't like it. I think that this is it's par for the course. Gold cards almost never do well, or not that great. I mean, V-Star Universe, those are the chase cards, but they're not like really well-known big chase cards. The Giratina, I think, is better than this because it still has that contrast with the blacks and the gold. I think the Pikachu from the Terrestrial Fest EX, honestly, I like that better from what I'm seeing here. This looks to just be straight gold, probably textured and embossed, but there's really no color other than the energies. And so I don't know. I don't think that this is going to do that great. Maybe it will. Now, if there's like a really, 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 really small chance of pulling the card, like you can only get it in specific type God packs or something crazy like that, that could be a gimmick that adds to the value. But to me, this right here, there's nothing new or special about it. And in fact, I like the Lucario. I like this Lucario much better than I like this Lucario. So maybe this right out of the gate, because it's a new rarity and it's an all gold card, maybe it does have value, but I don't see this being one of those pursued after artworks. Um, for this particular set here, Mega Brave, I think the big two cards to me are the Venusaur and the Lucario, and I think the Lucario beats out the Venusaur. I would prefer this one myself, but this one, I believe the Lucario will do better. But I could be completely wrong. This might be the top card. Then this might be the top card. Those two might be the top. I think it's between those four. I think those are the top four from what we can see. Like, who knows? Maybe there's going to be some cool artworks introduced in these little blank spots. I don't even know if these blank spots represent cards that are missing. They're just there. I would assume that's what it means. But we could have some kind of special illustration or art rare, special art rare is SAR on the Japanese side, that isn't even shown here. That's really nice. But from what I can see, these would be the top four. My personal top would be the Venusaur, whereas I think the Lucario is going to take the top spot if this is all that we have. All right, so let's move on to Mega Symphonia. We have Shuckle. This one doesn't appeal to me that much. I was listening to Pokey NE. I think he's really excited about the gold cards, and he actually really liked this card too. But I made it through like the first third of his video, so I haven't seen it all yet. I haven't heard his takes on everything, because I was like, I need to stop, because my opinions differ for some reason with him on this. Like, usually when I listen to Pokey NE, a lot of our takes, I agree with a lot of what he says, but some of these artworks, I have my own opinion. So I was like, maybe I should do my own. You can see where I watched it right here. I got through about a third of the way on his video, so I'm going to go watch the rest of that right after this one. But I think he had just gotten to the Shuckle, and he was talking about he seemed to really like that one. I heard him like that's how I felt about the Steelix, whereas a lot of people might not even care about Steelix. Maybe I don't like Shuckle because I never got to use them in the game. Here we have what was that, the Ninjask or Shed Ninja? I think it's Shed Ninja. That one looks pretty good, but from right here, because the picture's so blurry and it's got the hand over it, maybe it's not really appealing to me that much. But I like that more so than this. Lit Leo, I like Lit Leo. Maybe if there's like a really cool Pyroar. What is that? Snover. This one looks pretty good right here, but I don't know. If I can't understand fully what's going on, sometimes it doesn't appeal to me as much. Like, I'm not sure, is he coming into water, out of water? Is he jumping out? If I can't immediately understand something, usually my mind just kind of moves on. I like this card. I don't know if there's going to be more texture to it, but to me, it's nothing really special there. Same thing, just kind of, he's looking up at the moon. It looks like you have a meteor shower. Kind of cool moment, but the artwork itself just seems bland. I'd still like the Alakazam. I think that's cool. I think they could have done more with it, but it coming in an Elite Trainer box, I think it's still a solid art rare. You have another one of those. This one's kind of cool. It seems to mimic some of the cards we've seen in the past, but still nothing really special going on there. I like the Delibird, kind of making it look like a penguin. You know, there's a bunch of penguins out, I guess, in Antarctica, and they're carrying around their bag of presents. So maybe they have something to do with Christmas as well. More cards here, seemingly okay. Nothing sticking out to me so far. I think this one might have some potential, but there's just not enough contrast, I think, there for the color. The purples and the reds kind of mesh a little bit. Got a rare candy. Not too bad there. That one's all right. That'd be a good Halloween card. Nope. Probably not. I mean, it's got a Ralts in there, so that's a plus, but still nothing much going on. Oh, all right. So for me, this is when I saw this card, because I just briefly looked at PokeBeach before I come here, I was like, yep, that's the chase. This is the card. This is the one that I think people are going to go after. So in my opinion, if there was one card between not only this set, but both the sets, it's going to be this Gardevoir. There's a lot of color that's meshing here, but you can still see a lot of what's going on. It's pink, it's silver. It's just got a high tier rarity artwork, and I don't know. Yeah, it's Gardevoir again. And you know what? I've put down Gardevoir in the past because of how many cards it seems to get. It had so many. There were several Mega Gardevoirs. It had regular Gardevoir, EXs, full arts. I mean, it had so many releases during the original Mega era. But I like this card. I believe that it is number one, at least from everything that we've seen so far that is shown on PokeBeach. I believe this is the top card in the set. I like this one a little bit better than the other Latios. Just because the card's popping more, and I may like it even more if the lighting is a little bit better, but right here it's not that great. The Mega Kangaskhan EX, I think this is a good solid card. I don't know how well it's going to do. I want to see this in the textured version. I think that could make a big difference for this card, because just the straight flat gray borders, it gives it more of that, you know, just regular art rare feel or illustration rare feel rather than the special illustration rare. And I think the texture could make it pop. Again, really nice card. I like this one. This is Acerola, right? I like this Acerola much better than the other, which you should, right? It's the SAR, the special art rare. And on the English side, it's special illustration rare. And again, here's the gold card. To me, I mean, this right here, there is no way that you're going to tell me that someone would prefer this over this. Like, to me, this is like light years beyond the other Gardevoir. Yeah, it's a whole extra tier rarity. It's a gold card, mega ultra rare, but no, like, I am picking this card 10 times out of 10 over this Gardevoir. So I think that these special art rares are going to continue to dominate the new sets, including Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, as well as Mega Evolution. Because if I was to go through this list and pick my top cards, it would be the Venusaur, the Lucario, and then the Gardevoir. Like, those are my three. And then probably after that, maybe one of these Latioses break in there, but I'm probably going to go with the Kangaskhan, the Mega Kangaskhan, because I don't know. For me, I like to be able to see more so of what's going on. Now, when the cards do mesh together, it can work out. Like, this right here is kind of like I don't know, it's like that comic-y type feel where the colors are, it's almost like the frames are turned down as they're moving. And, you know, I never really got into that with the shows, like with the Bad Guys. That cartoon, I really like that cartoon. However, the way it's got that cartoon feel and it's like jutty, to me, that kind of messes with me. I prefer like just the smooth. You can tell exactly what's going on. Like, even this right here, while a lot of the colors are all the same, they kind of mix together, you can still see what's up. Like, there's a Curlia, you got a Gardevoir. I don't even know if that's Ralts. It looks like another Gardevoir. So Ralts is probably somewhere around in here. Oh yeah, there's Ralts right there. And I'm over here talking about how I can see what's going on and I can't figure out. So I guess that's Ralts, Curlia, Gardevoir, and then is Gardevoir, does it technically evolve into Mega Gardevoir like in the game? I'm not sure how that works with the Megas. So maybe somebody could explain that to me. But I think this is going to have a lot of eye appeal, especially to, like, you've got the pink color scheme right here. I mean, my wife, she loves it when you get that pink rainbow. Anytime they see like a, I remember the first time she saw it was the Calyrex. Oh man, they love that. And Gardevoir is a very popular Pokemon. It's not like Charizard tier, but I think on the girl side, we're dominantly male, in this in Pokemon for the collectors. At least that's what my viewership says. Maybe it's just me, but there's still a large women's side, and pink, that's going to be up there with the top colors that they like. Don't get me wrong, my daughter Emma, she loves blue, like that's her color, but she still bounces back and forth, and I think she likes the pinks as well, even though she says her favorite color is blue. Pink is usually a very highly sought after color, just on the card itself, and that's what this whole scheme is kind of bounced around. You got the purples, blues, pinks, you got the silver border. I think it works together really well. So in conclusion, I think my top card for what we can see so far is this Mega Gardevoir EX, the special art rare. And I'm assuming it's Mega Gardevoir. I don't even know if that's what it is, but I'm going to safely assume that it is, since we've seen many Mega Gardevoirs, and this is a Mega set, and it has a beautiful special art rare. After that, my number 2 would be the Venusaur. However, I think that the Lucario will beat it out in popularity in terms of maybe price with what everyone else likes, just because to me this artwork is much better. But those would be my top 3. And I don't even... the gold cards I think are going to be expensive just because they're probably rare and they're gold. But to me, I think they're very bland, very overdone. And to me, this is nothing new. It's just a gimmick, an extra rarity at the end of the set. All right, guys, let me know what you think, and if my takes are bad,